Get me up there. Hello, hello. What's going on, peeps? Happy Tuesday. Last Tuesday of the month. We ready for the fall? Because it's here. It's coming. It's right around the corner. We're almost there. We're almost there. Super excited to be here another Tuesday. Diving into some stuff. I've been doing some talking about this CEO over there at Starbucks that got some great little perks. So I thought we'd talk about it this evening. If you are new to us, here we go live. Hey, Linda, how are you, hon? I'm fantastic. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday, my friend. Janelle. How are you? How are you? Hopefully you're doing okay. Super excited that you guys are here. If you're new to us, let's see if I can remove this. Let's see. It won't go anywhere. It won't move. Okay. Hey, Crystal, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Tuesday, y'all. For those that are new, we come here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and what we do is the 4 E's. We are educating ourselves, exposing ourselves to education so that we can be equipped to be empowered. 4 E's: exposure, education, equipping to be empowered. If you expose yourself to education, then you equip yourself to be empowered. As a midlife professional, this is what we all want to do. We want to get as much learning and education as possible. The older we get, our capacity shrinks. So you want to soak up as much as you can. You want to learn and expose yourself to as much as you can, right? Hey, Tamar Stone from Baltimore. I love it. How are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so we're here every Tuesday. We do topical-based training. This is all of us contributing, engaging, sharing, supporting, empowering, all the things, right? So that we can get the most and make the most out of our time, because time is our biggest leverage that we have, especially as midlife corporate professionals. This is our biggest leverage. So let's get into it. Tonight, I wanted to talk about, we've all heard on the news, right, about the CEO at Starbucks who, I think the talk was about his plane, right? So I started digging, right? And I started nosing around. So I got his offer letter, y'all. We're going to go through it. We're going to talk about some things and see how that can help us as professionals in the corporate space, especially, or specifically, I should say, those of us that are considering a career transition or a pivot. How do we leverage our experience, our talent, our skills, our knowledge, and make the most out of it? We've spent a lot of time, paying for education, spending the time learning and evolving and growing in the workforce, gaining experience and knowledge and skills. How do we leverage all that when it comes to a pivot and or a transition? So tonight, let's talk about, let's talk about it. Oh, welcome. Y'all show Miss Tamar some love. Am I saying it right, Tamar? Some love, y'all. Welcome. We are super excited that you are here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get into it, and then we're going to go through the offer letter. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Mr. Brian Niccol. Let's talk a little bit about him. Let's see what he got going on. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to share my screen and make sure that you guys can see it here. Checking out my laptop. And so we're going to talk about the power of value. This is super important, especially for those of us that are midlife corporate professionals. What I found in speaking with thousands of professionals is that we don't understand the mountain of value we're sitting on, the mountain of value that we have, the knowledge that we have, right? So the power of value. This is lessons from Starbucks' new CEO, showcase your experience and value to attract opportunities and negotiate better compensation. So here's what we're going to cover: how you can use your experience and proven track record to attract compelling job offers, much like Brian Niccol did when he became the new CEO of Starbucks. By understanding your unique value, you can position yourself for opportunities that not only recognize but reward your expertise, ensuring you receive offers that reflect your worth without having to ask. This is even if you're currently working somewhere and you've been seeking a promotion or developmental increase or a stretch project, right? Or an internal movement. Leveraging your value and what you bring to the table, we're going to get a better understanding of that. So we're going to we're going to do a short case study on Brian Niccol, recognizing your worth. We're going to talk about that, negotiate beyond your salary, positioning yourself as a specialist, understanding market demand, seeking the right fit, and then we'll wrap that with a key takeaways before we hop into his offer letter. So let's look at Mr. Brian Niccol. This is him right here, the new CEO of Starbucks. Let's see how much we can learn about him from this short clip here. Take a listen.
I came to Miami thinking I would go into engineering, and the combination of some engineering work experience in the Miami plan made me realize this was not what I wanted to do. Luckily, I took a marketing class from senior lecturer Jan Taylor, and she nudged me into marketing and told me all about brand management. So I changed my focus to business and marketing. And when I shared the idea with my parents, their response was, hey, that's fine, but we're only paying for 4 years of school. So I went to the bookstore up on High Street, bought the Princeton Review book, America's Top 100 Internships, and I started writing letters. These were typed letters, not email. And the combination of letter writing and the Career Center resulted in some interviews. And I ended up with an internship at Procter & Gamble in brand management. But look, if I didn't go uptown and buy that book, I wouldn't have learned about Procter & Gamble. If I didn't listen to my gut and realize engineering wasn't for me, I never would have taken Jan Taylor's class and other great business classes. It is these little actions that can have a big impact. So ultimately, I changed companies 3 times in my career, Procter & Gamble, Yum Brands, and Chipotle. And each time I followed my gut instincts. The biggest success factor in my journey has been taking the right action at the right time with the belief of success. There will be times in your careers when your gut will be tingling. Make space for that instinctive intelligence and take action. Trust your instincts.
Trust your instincts. How many of you have that tingling feeling in your gut? How many of you are listening to that feeling? Some of us know the feeling of wanting more, not quite sure how to get more, but we're not listening to that feeling. So a little bit more about Brian Niccol. He worked at Chipotle, right, 2018 to 2024. And he led a significant turnaround after food safety scandals, restoring public trust and increasing sales. He focused on digital transformation, expanding online ordering and delivering services, which boosted revenue growth. Under his leadership, Chipotle's stock price increased by over 650% in 6 years, demonstrating strong operational and financial performance. I'm going to take a pause for a second. Could this be on somebody's resume? What does your resume look like? Does your resume just share the tasks that you do day in and day out? Or are there significant achievements just like this on your resume? Does it show your results? Does it show metrics? Does it show data points? Just because he has the title of CEO, he still has a resume. Don't get caught up in saying, you know, well, I'll never be a C-suite and this is the CEO. This is his resume. You got one. We all have one. Does yours speak to what you've been able to achieve? Strictly results-based. I want you to think about that. This is what he did. He led a significant turnaround. It was significant. He focused on digital transformation, and under his leadership, this is what happened within a span of 6 years. Does your bullet points look like this? Here's another part of his resume. Taco Bell, 2011 to 2018. As CEO, Niccol redefined the brand's image, introducing innovative products like the Doritos Locos Tacos. What does your bullet point look like on your resume from your last job? What did you introduce? What did you lead? What did you spearhead? What did you redefine? What did you implement? He implemented successful marketing campaigns that led to record-breaking sales and franchise growth. This is his resume. So I don't want you to get caught up on he's C-suite. This will never happen to me. He's CEO, Kelly. Doesn't have anything to do with me. I wouldn't be presenting it if I didn't think you can get benefit out of this. Think about what you have on yours. Now let's get into some of the things that we can think about and consider when it comes to sharing our value. What type of impact are you making at work? Or are you even making an impact at work? This is what he did he hasn't even started yet. He doesn't start till September 9th. He's already increased Starbucks valuation by over $15 billion upon announcement. He hasn't even started, y'all. This is as a result of his impact based on what he's already done. So when you get in those interviews, even internal interviews, and they're talking to you about what you've done in your current department, what type of impact have you made where you're working currently in the business unit that you're in, how have you supported your leadership team, your manager? What type of impact have you been able to make since you've been on your job? You brag about how long you've been there. Oh, I've been here for 8 years. That's fantastic. That's great. What type of impact have you had since you've been there? This is what companies want to know. Gone are the days of you performing at a high level. We've seen people that perform at a high level get let go. I want you to change your mindset and think about impact, okay? Leverage your experience. You have experience, just like Brian Nichols had. He told us that he worked at Procter & Gamble when he got an internship. He started reading books about the company, the organization. He was a CMO, right? He started thinking about brand marketing and the path that he wanted to take. Leverage the experience that you've already acquired over the years. You don't have to start from scratch. Highlight specific projects where you led change or increased revenue. Just like Nichols, show how you've navigated challenging periods or led a team to success. We saw the headline at Chipotle where there was tainted food, right? He was able to navigate through those challenging periods. And we saw he was there from 2018 to 2024. So what else did he go through? He went through COVID. He went through that. And he still kept the company afloat. I remember actually y'all remember during COVID, them talking about Chipotle and how they were able to, I think there was, Uber or door dashing food and things like that. They were still making money when everything else was shut down. They didn't know how to pivot and change and adapt to what was going on. This is leadership. This is leadership. These are the things that you talk about and you make your leadership team aware of. You know what? I'm working through this project, and although Sally has fell off, she hasn't been a part of the project. I've taken on the work. Make them aware of how you're navigating through challenges and how you're still able to get results. If you're not sharing that information, how do they know? How do they know? Negotiating beyond salary. So he's negotiating beyond his base salary, and we're gonna look at that in a second, okay? Stock options he's gotten. Negotiate for equity ownership in the company to share in the upside potential of the organization's growth. There's somebody that I'm working with in our elite program. They are working with a startup. The startup just went through a round of what is it called, y'all? Series of funding, and she's about to get an offer. And one of the things we're talking about is stock. Get stock in the company. It's one of those companies that will probably be like, you guys remember Clubhouse? No advertising, no anything, $1 billion valuation, bought out. I know we haven't been taught this and we don't think about this. We think about the monetary compensation when it comes to negotiating our salary. But here are some things that you can negotiate. even if you're working now and you're getting an internal role, a promotion, making a lateral move, think about the other things that you can negotiate that's going to benefit you. Right? Performance bonuses, secure variable compensation tied to individual team or company milestones and achievements. Again, we're going to take a look at this, but this is something you can ask about. If I perform at this level, if I execute on this, if I do X, Y, and Z, what type of bonus can we discuss, right, as part of this compensation package? If you don't ask, then you'll never know. Often what we do is we just accept what we're given, and we don't ask about these things. Flexible work arrangements, advocate for flexible hours, remote work options, or a hybrid model to enhance work-life balance. In professional development, this one is key. This is something that you should be seeking out, you should be asking about. Propose a learning and development budget to fund training, certifications, or conference attendance to grow your skills. I remember I had a candidate and I made him an offer, and he said, what type of professional stipend is in place? Nobody had ever asked me about that. And I'm like, wow, you're the first person to ever ask me that. He said, well, yeah. He said, I'm going to attend conferences and I'm going to bring that knowledge and those skills back to the company. So it's only going to benefit the company. So I want to know what's in place. So he knows his worth. And guess what? He got it. He got it. Most times, you all, we just never ask, or we've never thought about asking. Position yourself as a specialist. Now, I get a lot of flack for this right here because people seem to think that you can't be multifaceted. If you have a depth of knowledge in an area, and I always use the analogy of thinking about your PCP, think about your doctor. Whenever something's going on specifically with their body or internally or something like that, they send you somewhere else. They send you to a specialist. It's a reason that the specialist makes more money than the PCP, your primary care physician, because they're specialized in a certain area. So when you hear me talk online and you hear me say starting over doesn't mean starting from scratch, that means stay where you are, leverage what you have. Now it's just time to decide, how do I get out of this toxic environment or make more money or ensure that my skills aren't antiquated or outdated? How can I use the skills? I'm tired of doing this work right here, but how can I do something else with it? This is exactly what I'm doing. I've been a corporate recruiter. I've worked in staffing agencies for myself and for others, and now I'm teaching it. I'm leveraging the same exact skills for the past 30 years, and I'm building upon everything I've learned. So the question is not, how do I get out of here? It may be, how else can I use these skills? Sometimes it's about the questions that we ask ourselves. How can I use and leverage these skills? Not that I have to go get this certification. Oh, I'm going to get into digital products because everybody's doing that. And I'm going to go do this side hustle because everybody's doing that. But I've never seen anybody, and I don't think you have either, working 2 and 3 jobs that are rich. It doesn't happen like that. Focus on something. I'm not saying you can't do other things. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, if you look at the people, celebrities or people you know that have been somewhere or doing something for a decade or 2 or 3 or 4, these are the people that are solid. They're beyond rich. They're wealthy. That's different. And the reason is the consistency, because the more you stay in an area, the more you learn, because the work works on you. But the more we hop around and learn this and learn this and learn this and try to go after this shiny object, I'm going to be a doctor now. No, you know what? I don't want to be a doctor. I think I'm going to be a mechanic. No, you know what? I don't want to be a mechanic. I think I want to go and I want to do that. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Throwing away everything that you've done, all the years, all the education, all the time, all of the money, instead of sitting still and pausing. Okay, what else can I do? Because this is what I had to do. That's the only reason why I can say this. I didn't want to go to another job and recruit. I didn't want to do that. And even back then, I was smart enough to know that, you know what, Kelly, if you go over here, you're just going to be recruiting again. And you don't want to do that. I don't want to do that anymore. But what I didn't realize is that I had options to leverage the skills and the experience and the knowledge that I have to do something else with what I have. All right, I think I beat that in. Okay, so this is how you do this. Transform underperforming department. This is examples. This is what Nickel did. Led a cross-functional team turnaround, delivered 20% increase in productivity, and implemented new processes and systems. A specialist in his area. This is what he's able to do at P&G, Taco Bell, and Chipotle. Now he's going to do the same thing at Starbucks. The same skills. And he just gets better and better and better. You know why? Because it's consistency. It's just like going down a rabbit hole. The more you start learning and digging about how many times have you said, oh, you found something online and you click the button and you start learning, like that lady, Risa Tisa, who was on TikTok, and she was talking about the thing. The more you watch, the more down the rabbit hole you got, and the more you learned about all of her background and all of her, it's just the same thing with learning something. The more you dive into it, the more that you're going to learn. Understand market demand. The percentage of job postings requiring the following skills. Now, this is just an example that I wanted to share with you. So you have to think about what you do. What percentage of the skills that you have are in demand? Right? So for Nickel, data analytics, he can take the data that he used when he started. And we all know data right now is high in demand right now. Look at Facebook. They just got in trouble for breaching our data, right? Look at all the other companies. Every time you log into something, you got to put your email. They want to send you stuff. They want your data. Look at the algorithm. Every time you tap on something, when you go to a whole nother page, not thinking about what you tapped on, it's right there. It pops up with you. That's data. They know they're tracking your interests. They're tracking your behavior. They're tracking where you go. They're tracking what you speak. How many times have you been walking around or just talking and you get on your phone and something pops up? You're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about this. It's data. We know that's a skill that's in demand. So why not focus, if that's part of your job, on that skill? This is how you understand the market demand. If you look at what I do in recruiting, back in the day when I first started, we were called full life cycle recruiting, meaning we did it from beginning to end, from talking to a hiring manager, to getting the requisition, to creating the job description, to posting the job, to sourcing the candidates, to talking to the candidates, to sharing with them about the perks of the company and the benefits and why they should join, to negotiating the offer, to creating the offer letter, to sending it all out. Guess what? We don't do any of that anymore. It's broken up now. There's a sourcing department. And I remember saying, oh, that'll never happen. That don't make any sense. It's the norm now. There's a closing department, the people that close and negotiate. That's what I did when I was at Microsoft. I was a closer. There's coordinators that do the job description now. So if I was in the market, I'm thinking about, okay, what skills are in demand? I know that the skills that are in demand in my industry are sourcers, people looking for talent. So think about your job. What skills are in demand that you already have? And you can rank them just like this. Y'all with me? This is how you think about being in demand. Seek the right fit. This is where a lot of professionals get stuck. They get overwhelmed and it becomes confusing when they're considering a transition or a pivot. Where can I best leverage my skills, my knowledge, and my talent? Do I go to technology? Do I go to healthcare? Should I be in a mid-sized company? Should I be in a small-sized company? Should I go work in, electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, green energy, renewable energy? This is where you have to spend the time based off of what we just talked about in the last slide. Where your skills are, where there's demand, and you have the skills, that's where you're conducting an audit, you're assessing your skill base, and then you go and you figure out, where do these skills fit? What would make the most sense for me to leverage the skills that I have? If I want to make a transition, I see everybody going into tech. I'm not sure, there's been a lot of layoffs. Does it make sense for me to take my skills? I'm a project manager, but I've been in project management in healthcare, but I really want to be in tech. Does it make sense for me to go over there based off of what's happening? Here's the skills that I really have. This is what I leverage. I know how to use the EMR system. I do know I worked at different levels and in client interfacing. So that's a skill that I have. Where can I leverage that? But what we do is we go to Indeed or we go to Easy Apply and LinkedIn. We take our title. We don't even think about our skills. We take our title and we apply. And we get frustrated when they come back and say, you know what, we've had a lot of candidates, and unfortunately, we've decided to pursue other candidates at this time, because you're not taking the time to think about the fact that you've only worked in small organizations. You applied at Google thinking because you have a project management title, oh, I can be a project management anywhere. That's not true. Because what they're looking at as a decision maker and a stakeholder and a hiring manager, they're looking to see, have you been able to project management at this scale? But because what we know is go from job to job to job, and we think and we focus on the title, and then we get frustrated and we say these employers are ghosting us and these employers don't care, and why the recruiters aren't returning our call, because they're wondering, why are you applying for this? We're an enterprise-wide level company. We're a global level company. You work locally in Arkansas. You don't have the capacity that we're looking for right now. Not saying that you don't have the ability, that's different. You probably can do the job, but you have to understand the reader of your document, your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your GitHub, your portfolio, your website. Think about them and what they're looking for. If they don't see that, they're not going to contact you. And your resume doesn't get you a job offer, it gets you a call. Your goal is to get a call. And if you think about that from a step-by-step basis, let me get a call, because if I can get on the call with them, I can let them know, yeah, I worked in a small town, but that was only for 3 years because my husband had to relocate. But before we relocated, I was in New York and I was working for Capital One. I was working for a company-wide enterprise company, but I have to get on the call so they can know that. But what we don't do is we don't focus on this. We focus on the fact that, oh, I can do that. Nobody knows us from Adam. Nobody knows us. Your first impression is your resume. That's the first impression they're going to have of you. Are you going to be memorable? Are they going to remember you? Or does your resume look like everybody else? Can I put my name on your resume? Is it going to make a difference? Or is it uniquely designed specifically for you? Seek the right fit. And if you're a midlifer, at our age, we don't have time to just throw spaghetti at a wall to see what's going to stick. We should be taking out the time up front and designing our skills. We talk about this in our community. If you're not in the community, you can go to iamkellyjackson.com, Kelly with an I, and get in for free. We talk about managing your career. And it's something we haven't been taught. And it sounds a little foreign. Because what we've been taught is to go from one job to another job to another. I got to get out of here. This environment is toxic. I'm not growing. I don't make enough money. I got to leave without a plan. And what happens is you get into that other job and you're ready to go. And after 18 months, because you haven't changed, your behavior hasn't changed, your mindset hasn't changed. You haven't made a decision on what's the goal of me going here. The promotion that you want, is it for more money? Or will you be acquiring new skills that will catapult you to the next level? At our age, we need to have strategic plans. Y'all with me? Here's the takeaways. Know your value. Be confident in showcasing your unique experiences, skills, and achievements that make you an asset to any organization. Think beyond the base. Negotiate for a holistic compensation package that includes benefits like stock options, bonuses, flexible hours, and professional development opportunities. You can ask for this, you all. I know it's uncomfortable. I know we've never done this before, but these are things, if you don't ask, you won't know. You won't know. Be strategic in your job search. Align your strengths and expertise with the current market demands to position yourself as the ideal candidate for the right opportunities. By understanding and effectively leveraging your value, you can secure fulfilling career opportunities with the compensation you deserve. We're going to take a pause. Let me look at y'all and see how we feel about that. Helpful? Before we dive into this offer letter, let me know what y'all think. What y'all saying? What are y'all saying? Some employers, Dolph in 3365 said, some employers don't make us privy to measurable metrics like that. I wish they did. Measurements like, tell me what let me see, maybe you said it already. Every time someone says include impact or metrics on my resume, it just makes my head hurt like right now. I tried to figure out how to figure out metrics at my last job, but I didn't so far. Sometimes it's hard to do that, and I don't want to make metrics up. I don't like the idea of making. Yeah, you shouldn't make up things. You should actually get support in that. It shouldn't make your head hurt. You can get support in creating something like that, right? Hey, Chanel, you're welcome, hon. You're welcome. Okay, let's take a look at this offer letter. So we can see, and the goal, you all, is not to think that, okay, this is a CEO, this will never happen to us. This is inspiration that this is possible. This is inspiration to say that even if I'm not at the C-suite level, it may just not be right now, but it's a goal. You can aspire. These things are possible. These things are possible. Let me share my screen. We're going to go through this. And let's take a look. So this is offer letter. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger so you guys can see it. I'll make this bigger. Yes. Okay, as you can see, hopefully you guys can see, he starts on September 9th. That's my mommy's birthday. Starts on September 9th, hasn't even started. We talked about that in the presentation. We talked about the impact he's already making, $15 billion valuation right now in Starbucks just because of the announcement. So this is the impact he's having. He's got stock ownership, right? We talked about that as well. As a senior executive, our executive stock ownership guidelines will apply to you. He's got that, right? He's got executive life insurance, and you and your family have a greater exposure to financial loss resulting from your death. This is what you'll get. Executive physical exam, insider trading. Of course, we don't want that to happen. Coffee and dairy hedging policy. This is that you can't prohibit it from trading in coffee or dairy based off of where you work, right? Makes sense. Let's get into some of this money, honey. He's got the remote office. Promptly following the start date, the company will establish, with your assistance, a small remote office in Newport Beach, California. How amazing, you all. How amazing. This is something that you can ask for, though. For those of you that want to work remote or know that you need to be at home and if it makes sense and you know the company wants you, this is something that I would ask for, right? If it's a mandatory work in office, you can ask for hybrid work situation. That's something you can ask for, right? Remote office, base salary, check it out, $1.6 million. $1.6 million, right? That's his base salary. So let's do the math. He will also be eligible for an annual bonus opportunity with a target of 225% of your base salary. That's the target. If he hits the target, y'all, 225% of his base salary. So he makes $1.6 million. I mean, let's do the math. My goodness gracious. And a maximum of 450% of your base salary. It's just insane. Like, what can you do with all this money? Oh my gosh. So you get 40% in revenue, 60% in operating income, right? He also will receive $10 million cash signing bonus. So you get a sign-on bonus, y'all. $10 million. I don't even know. Are y'all adding this up? I mean, it's beyond, right? It's beyond. He gets a replacement grant, $75 million. And I believe this is probably going to be, it's probably going to be split up into, I'm sure this is performance-based. So listen, this is performance RSUs. This just means that if he performs, like he does the thing, he does a great job, he's eligible. And this is how it's broken down. He's eligible. And even just if he's just doing good, he's eligible. Insanical, y'all. Insanical. And then this is the one that everybody's talking about and is all over the news, is the aircraft. You will be eligible to use the company aircraft for business-related travel in accordance with the company's travel policy between your city of residence and the company headquarters in Seattle, Washington. Your personal travel in accordance with the company's policy up to a maximum of $250,000 per year, which amount will be based on the aggregate incremental cost to the company. I mean, Mr. Nickel got a pretty sweet deal. What y'all think? What do we think? I mean, Linda said, wow. That's what I'm saying, Dolphin. I'm like, what do you do with all of that? Seriously, what do you do with all that money? Like, what do we do with that? I know, Janelle. It's like, wow. I'm just thinking about the stock part. Like, that's almost like, what do you do with that money? I'm sure we can figure it out, but I'm just really curious. What do you do with all of that money? Listen, what I want us to get out of this, you all, is know your value, know your worth. Even if, like Krista was saying, I don't know how to write this down. I want you to think about at work, are you making an impact? Like, you could be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Because I think some of us might think that we are making an impact by just showing up and we perform and we do the report. But are you really making an impact in your company, in your department, for your leadership team? Or are you going to work and it's routine and it's monotonous, it's the same work, you do it every day, you come in, you do the same work over and over again. And in your mind, I am making an impact because I'm doing this work and I'm doing it every day. But are we really? Like, are we really? I want you to think about that. I want you to really put some thought behind the value that you're creating and how you are conveying that every single day. Because people are watching, believe it or not, they're watching and they're wondering, why hasn't this person gotten a promotion or even applied for a promotion or moved internally? They've just been here. Have they grown? Have they learned anything? Oh, that's the person that goes and get the cupcakes for everybody's birthday. That's the person I know we can count on to go and get the supplies. That's the person that I know will do the report. Are you that person? Are you the go-to person? Can somebody come in if you were gone and just do your job? Are you replaceable? Is that something that you want to be, or really does it matter? Are you growing? Are you evolving? Do you feel challenged? Is that something that you want? Your company has eliminated inline promotions. It's insane. Yeah, I just was reading something about, I think it was, what was it? Development in promotions in place. Promotions in place. I was reading how someone had took that over. I am that person. There is so much information siloed to me. They're going to be lost when I leave. So you are that person that has all the information. You're the go-to person. So this is something to think about. And even if you are seeking to transition externally into a new organization or into a new new industry, you want to go and set yourself up as an asset. You don't want to be a liability in a company, or even if it's in a department or a business unit. How do you position yourself as that person that you are a true asset in the organization? Something to consider, okay? Something to consider. Any questions about that? You guys hit that like button if you're on YouTube. I'd appreciate it. If you're on LinkedIn, hit that like button. If you liked it, I appreciate it. On Facebook, you can do the same thing. Any questions about that? Any ahas, takeaways, anything that got you thinking, you may consider? Wheels are turning, huh? Wheels are turning. Just a little inspiration. None of us are at the C-suite level, but I think it was very inspirational to know what's possible, you all. And that I encourage you, when I work with people, I encourage them when we get to the negotiating table, there's a lot you can negotiate, and you won't know unless you ask. You won't know unless you ask. All right, if there's no questions, we're going to get out of here really early. First time in a year. First time in a year. You guys have a fantastic weekend. I think is it Labor Day this weekend? No, we're not there yet, are we? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If we are, I was going to say have a good holiday, but I think we got one more week, right? See you on the app. All right, I'll see you on the app. It is this weekend? Good gosh, already. Wowzer. All right, y'all have a fantastic holiday then. Have a great holiday, y'all. Wow, that came fast. That came fast. Sandra, where you been at, girl? It is. You're welcome, Linda. Appreciate you a lot. Wow, that came quick, y'all. Super, super quick. You too, Chanel. Y'all have a good weekend. Get some rest and get ready for September Surge. We're going to be talking about that in the community. If you're not in the community, again, go to I Am Kelly. You got some news? Oh, we could stop for that. Tell us. Share the news. I love good news. Later, Crystal. Crystal said later. Are you going to watch it again? Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. That makes me feel good. Jackie. Jackie said hi and bye. Girl, what you doing? Y'all be cracking me up. Oh my gosh. You had an interview with the Children's Defense Fund, my dream. Oh, that's amazing. Y'all, let's give her some claps, some hand claps. That's amazing, Sasha. Congratulations. So excited for you. You're going to be amazing in that. You're going to be amazing in that role. Amazing. I'm so excited. I know that's your heart's work, right? Yeah, we're not leaving, Krista. We're not leaving. Oh, you're driving, Jackie? Okay. Hopefully you're not driving no more. You know better. I'm going to whoop you. I'm going to whoop you, Jackie. That's amazing, Sandra. Congratulations. Oh, and you've been wanting to go to DC. That is amazing. Way to go. I know you're excited. We really got to celebrate in the community. We got to celebrate. That's amazing. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. You certainly deserve it. Certainly deserve it. Very patient you've been. That's amazing. Okay, you home now. Okay, good. Good deal. Good deal. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. We got to celebrate. You need to celebrate all weekend. Since you got the holiday and everything, you got to celebrate. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And we're going into September surge, y'all, and I can feel the difference. I can feel the difference. I can feel the difference because it was a lull for a second. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely check us out inside the community. You can go to iamkellyjackson.com. You still packing, Crystal. But I like hearing good news. That's why I make sure I'm listening. That's great. That's great. That's great. Yeah, that's great news, Sandra. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Definitely celebrate. Yes, it is. It is celebration. Oh, that's so sweet. Y'all so sweet. Y'all so sweet. Y'all so sweet. I love that, Sandra. And y'all, she's been talking about DC for years, Sandra, right? That's amazing. That is amazing. Now we got to take a trip to DC, y'all. We got to take a trip to DC so we can celebrate. I've never been either. I think I've been through there, but I've never been. Hey, Susie Q. Where y'all been? You and Jackie, what y'all been working out? I know Susie was working. I know Jackie was driving. Sandra, I'm not kidding. We got to take a trip, y'all. We got to get a nice little bus and go to DC and help you move in. We're gonna have a housewarming party up in DC. I'm sure it's a lot going on, right? Spin class. Oh, I'm so jealous of you, Susan. I'm so jealous. You got to check out this lady on TikTok. Her spin class. I would fly to her spin class. Let's go. So I'm ready. I haven't either, Crystal. I've never been. I've never been either. I think I've been through there. But I've never been. I heard it's cold though. But I heard it's also the place to be though, Sandra. So you're going to be right in the mix. I'm going to be following you and be like, oh, I'm so jealous. I've heard about it's a great place to be. Great place to be. Oh, it's a lot of us never been. Yeah, I've never been. I've never been. But it's a lot of, a lot of exposure and a lot of great things that happen in there. Oh, Susie Q's been. She said it's a great city, Sandra. Sandra's always wanted to go. She's always told me that. So I'm super excited for her. It's on your bucket list too. Wow. DMB is a place to be. Linda said it's the place to be, y'all. I've heard that though, Linda. I've heard about all the galas and the affairs, and I'll be looking at all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, it looks amazing. Yeah, I've heard about that too. Historical places. So you're going to have a ball. You're going to have a ball. So much to do. Jackie, what are you talking about? PST time to, oh, that's right. Oh, what time is it? 5? Jackie, where you are? Okay. I always hear it's a great time, and that's the Black folks look good. I'm gonna hang up on you, lovely. I'm hanging up on you. But I did hear that too. I heard Georgetown is fun too. We have to go to Georgetown. Ooh, cupcakes, Susan. I got a sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth. I've been trying to do good. It's hard. It is hard though. I've been trying to do good, y'all, but it's not working. It is not working at all. But yeah, congrats, Sandra. We are so happy for you, my friend. Super, super happy. You got to share us some pictures inside the community and everything. Okay, 5:50. So it's still light out there. Yes, Crystal, I heard about that. Where's Lovely? Lovely? No, we didn't heard about that. That's why I said I'll be looking at all the pictures and stuff. I'm like, oh, all the stuff. All right, y'all. I'm going. I'm gonna hang up. Like I'm on the phone. I'm gonna hang up. Appreciate y'all for joining. Hit that like button if you're on any of the channels. I appreciate y'all. Okay, we're gonna figure it out, Jackie. We're gonna figure it out. Susan told us to go to the cupcake place. Sandra said there's some historical places there. Oh, you going night night? All right, Dolphin 3365. You going night night? See, you so good. I need to go night night. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day. Get some rest and be good. See y'all later. Bye. 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 Bye.